Hello, and you're listening to The Balcony. I'm Jacob.
I'm Philip.
And I'm Michael. So, basically, we're gonna do the podcast again. This is podcast number 2, and we're just gonna start off with some random things we're gonna talk about. So the first thing is the summer weather in Minnesota. This is where we live, and the summer has been nice so far. Have any of you guys ever been to any beaches so far this summer?
Yes.
Yes, I went to one beach this summer.
I went to 2 beaches.
What beaches have you guys been to? Anything like very interesting? Like,
Not really. It was a small beach in Wisconsin.
yep.
Well,
And I camp out.
I went to a beach with pretty nice sand texture, and there were a couple trees, and there was a cabin nearby, and yeah, it was a really nice situation, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, in Minnesota, there's the land of 10,000 lakes, so you're expected to find a beach somewhere right around.
Michael,
the
this is a terrible question.
It's not a question. It's starting out.
Well, it's a terrible discussion item.
Hey, I gotta
Switch to
start out
something
with
more
something
interesting.
Random. Hey, it's something random, Philip.
Something random, all right.
We just gotta edit part of that out.
Why?
I say we keep this whole thing.
It's
in
a
there.
podcast,
No!
Jacob.
Yep, we're keeping the whole thing in there.
Jacob, if anything gets too wild, we'll edit it out. But
Yeah.
come on, you got to keep the freshness
Yeah,
of
you
it.
gotta keep the freshness of it. I just had to say something about.
Oh
the
yeah,
weather.
by the way, me and Michael fooled around with firecrackers once.
Yep.
Before we left, I threw a couple firecrackers in the bush.
Yep,
It was
that's
fun.
cool. Oh yeah.
We had to
yeah,
wait
it
for
was
the
at that
we had to
beach.
wait for the sheriff to leave first
Oh,
before
yeah,
we
that
started.
was obvious. All right, now we're just gonna go to something completely different. We're gonna go to our favorite movie of all time. Jacob, you can start off if you have a favorite movie or personal favorite.
I have way too many movies that I like.
Just way too many.
I mean, I feel like each movie isn't... I feel like you shouldn't try to compare movies a lot just because...
It's like trying to compare your children.
It's like comparing apples to oranges. There's a lot of different
There's-
types of
This is
movies.
so different.
There are so many different types of movies, it's hard to compare all of them to get one favorite.
Okay, how about just like an action movie?
Action movie.
Does that narrow it down at all?
No.
The Avengers.
Favorite movie?
That was my favorite movie that's come out past few years.
That was a pretty good movie. I like War of the Worlds personally. I like Tom Cruise in War of the Worlds. It was
I really enjoyed Man of Steel. That one was pretty sweet.
never seen it.
I still need to see Man of Steel also.
Yep.
It's actually really awesome. Yes.
Like, how good is it? Pretty good.
I have no idea because my movie tastes are completely different than a lot of people's, and I
In your personal opinion, on a scale of 1 to 4.
1 to 4.
Yeah.
Since that's so small, I just say 4. It's awesome. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
What's wrong with the small movie scale?
Yeah.
I was expecting more 10, like 1 to 10.
Well, the problem is, what I consider a 6 out of 10, you might... There's not really defined that well.
Yeah.
That's true. I actually do agree.
Which is why I personally like 4 stars.
That's, you know what? I gotta agree with that. Yep, 4, 4, 4,
You said
and 4.
4 out of 4 stars. You're giving it, Philip.
Yes, I am.
What? Okay. Okay. So what's the worst movie you ever seen?
There was
Or coming
okay.
out.
There was a couple of years ago. I was really bored one day, so I watched a bunch of random natural disaster movies on Netflix on Instant View, and there's one. I think it was called Apocalypse. I watched the first 20 or 30 minutes, and I had to stop because acting was just terrible. Oh, and by the way, most natural disaster movies have the same exact plot except for Twister. So if you want to watch a really good natural disaster movie, watch Twister.
Yep. Apparently it's pretty good. For me, worst movie ever. I don't know. Rubber was. It was pretty bad. Let's just say a tire roaming around, doing what it wants with telekinesis powers is a pretty bad plot idea. A new movie coming out that's going to be terribly bad is going to be called Sharknado.
I thought that already came out.
Did it already come out?
I don't know.
I think it already did come out. Yes.
All I know is that it throws sharks around and it's a tornado that throws sharks, and that is...
And apparently the sharks have telekinetic powers.
Oh my! How about you, Philip? What's the worst? movie?
I don't know, honestly. I don't watch a lot of bad movies. But I do know one movie that I saw that was really bad. I saw a preview for it was The Birds, or Birdemic. I mean,
Birdemic.
Birdemic.
Terrible movie.
Okay, I was gonna say The Birds, the Hitchcock film.
No, not Hitchcock.
Was
Anything
okay.
Hitchcock
Yeah,
is
that was
awesome. North by Northwest.
The Birds by Hitchcock, I thought was a pretty. It was. I don't know. It was pretty good, I think,
It was
for its
pretty good.
time.
Yeah, for its time, it was good. Hitchcock's a good writer, I think.
Heck, even now, some of his movies are still awesome.
Isn't he gone though? He's dead, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm pretty
he-
sure Hitchcock is
He
dead.
Okay,
ca-
that
he-
would have been really
yeah.
awkward if that would have just happened that he's still alive. That would have been really weird.
That was kind of. He kicked the bucket, Michael.
Okay, good.
No, he knocked over the camera. That's
Well,
the
I mean,
filmmaker's
it's-
term. He knocked
It's
over
not
the
good that
camera.
he kicked the bucket, but you know. Alright, so there's this animated series called RWBY that I was just introduced to by Jacob and Philip. Jacob and Philip, do you have any more? Just talk about RWBY and what the heck it is.
You can go, Jacob.
Okay, well, RWBY is an ugh.
Anime.
It is an anime type show. I say anime type because one of the creators, Monte doesn't technically consider it anime, but the style is very similar to it. And
Oh,
it's
totally.
a web series where a new episode is released every week, and it's about a bunch of people who are in a fighting school and have really cool weapons, and the fighting choreography is ridiculously insane. It is really cool.
And more notes on that. It's RWBY stands for red, white, black, and yellow because each of the 4 characters is a different color. And it is produced by Rooster Teeth. And if anyone knows Rooster Teeth, they're a very popular company that was created because they made awesome web series. And they do video game stuff. And so I'm totally hyped for this because, well, it's awesome.
I personally watched their Minecraft Rooster Teeth and
You mean
Yeah.
from Achievement Hunter?
yeah, Achievement Hunter. It's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like Michael and Gavin and Jeff and all them people.
And Jack. Can't forget
Yep.
Jack.
And Ryan.
And Ryan.
Oh, and sorry Ray, but you're.
Oh yes, Ray, brown man.
Uh,
He likes roses.
Yes, he does like roses a lot. And you.
We're
probably...
rambling. We're rambling. Keep
Yeah.
going. Keep going.
All right, so next thing on the list, the Xbox One and the PS4. All right, so based on recent past, I believe the PS4 is gonna do better than the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
In worldwide series, in America, I say the same thing. Me personally, I'm probably gonna get the Xbox One. But I still don't know about that. I don't know what the issue is. Is used games still available on the Xbox One?
Yes, they removed policy on that.
Alright, so that is very good that they have used games and all that
They
stuff.
have basically reverted all of their controversial policies.
Oh, and
No,
then-
wait, no, I call it backpedaling because their pre-order sales dropped down to like negatives. And so they basically had an ultra negative response from Microsoft consumers.
And don't forget the Wii U. That has already come out, which is it's all right.
It's not news though.
Well, I know it's not news, but it is a new generation console, so we gotta put them in there.
Yeah, I would have bought it, except I'm just not. I really don't like their non-standard controller basis. Like apparently you can use Wiimotes on it, but then some games it's encouraged to use the gamepad thing, and then other games can use both. Don't like it. Too confusing and
Yeah, some
uninteresting.
people just think it's I don't know, but I think you have to be connected to the internet for the Xbox One and stuff. I don't know if
Nope, you don't. They said that you have to
No?
connect it to remove some DRM patches. You have to download some patches to remove that stuff, but in order to do that, you just log into the internet once and then you're good.
Oh, okay. And the PS4, I haven't heard any backfire against that at all. Just the installation time, which takes forever. I think. I don't know for sure. I don't have a PS4.
Well, the reason PS4 is getting better ranks or ratings is because they're just presenting it as an awesome new console and they're not attaching all that package to it or whatever it's called. Luggage, that's what it is.
I think the funniest thing they have is how to share games. I think that was really funny. How the guy's just like, this is how we share games, and he just hands thing over, and it's on like the PS4 or the Xbox One. But now you can share games on the Xbox One, and you don't have to use the barcode thing they have or anything.
Mm.
So we're just gonna head right along past the Xbox One and the PS4 to YouTube, and now
Can
we're
I
on
just say
YouTube.
one thing
Oh, yeah, you
about
can say
the
one.
whole video
Yep.
game thing?
Sorry about that, Jacob. We
That-
totally
that's
did
okay.
there.
The newest console I have is a PS2.
Yes, PS2s are
I'm
awesome.
not really into gaming that much, but if anyone wants to talk about DDR, just give me a holler.
Yeah. I personally am a PC gamer myself, so I don't really have much foothold in the console industries. Similar to Jacob, I just download my games through Steam and I rock out.
Yeah, PC's also a pretty good way to go.
Although your PC sucks, Michael.
Hey, okay, yeah, my PC's pretty bad. Some people know that my PC's pretty bad. They have
Hey,
had
Red,
some
White,
experiences
Black,
with
and
it.
Yellow episode 4 just came out.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Okay, well, we're gonna continue on. Philip, don't watch that until
I know, I'm
done with
not. I just think it's funny.
this. All right, we're gonna move right on to YouTube, like I just said a little bit ago, and we're gonna go to Honest Trailers. You guys have any insight on the Honest Trailers? Go ahead, Philip. You can lead this one, Philip.
Honest Trailers is a really funny YouTube show brought to you by the Screen Junkies YouTube channel. And what it is they basically take either a official trailer or a collection of video clips from the movie, and they voice it over with their honest, hilarious opinion of it, and it's really fun to watch.
What are some of the videos featured? Do you know? They have like Man
They've
of
done a
Steel.
lot. They've done The Dark Knight, Independence Day,
yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Star Trek, X-Men Origins, Fast 5, Harry Potter,
Have they done
Last
Star Wars?
Airbenders, and the Avengers.
They did Star Wars Episode 1 when it came into
Alright.
3D.
Okay.
Skyfall.
Yeah,
And-
the guy was like, relive the biggest disappointment of your childhood in 3D!
I loved the Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Possibly the
The
worst.
voiceover guy has a really generic movie trailer voice, and at the end,
yeah.
people can comment with random recommendations on things he can say in his awesome movie trailer voice. So at the end of his videos, he says random stuff
That people
his
type in.
voice that people want him to
The
say.
best.
And they
part
actually
ever.
changed the voiceover guy halfway through, because you can tell.
Yeah, they did
I
change it.
I personally like the earlier voice actor guy, but the new one's all right.
Yeah, it said on one of the videos that the first guy had to report to military duty,
Mm-hmm.
so they got a new
Oh,
guy.
they did? I
Yeah.
did not know that.
You didn't know that because it didn't matter. It's just because we have nothing to talk
My
about.
favorite is probably I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, I just can't say anything about that. Alright, then we're gonna go to the slow-mo guys, which are... Okay, so these guys' names are Dan and Gavin. Gavin is also from Rooster Teeth, and Dan's just Gavin's friend. And they do these slow motion... They do these videos, and then they just go slow motioning on it at about 5,000 frames per second.
More like 15 or 20. Well, in some cases,
You say 20 frames per second?
20,000.
Oh, 20,000. I'm like, 20 frames per second? That's
Yeah, I think normal is 24.
I think
Yeah.
32.
Well, that's
20.
that's for videos
I don't know.
for average.
I thought it was 32, but maybe I'm wrong. But I don't know. They might have went 20,000 on some videos. They like got a bullet being fired underwater. They got jumping on a giant water balloon. They got smashing TVs and computers.
Flame
And
throwing. It's my favorite.
I just like it how it's all in slow motion.
Anytime they do flames in slow motion, I love it.
And their camera is amazing. It's called the Phantom Flex, and it costs about $50,000.
And they don't even own it. They work at a company that allows them to take it home for a day. It's pretty awesome.
Jacob, do you have any insight on something like that?
I've only seen a couple slow videos by the Slow-mo guys, and they're pretty cool, so check them out.
Alright, and we're on the topic of the internet, so we're gonna head to the favorite random website. Jacob, you want to start off with this?
Tell me, have you seen the marvelous breadfish? That's all I have to say.
Alright, so and what is the site name called? Do you know the website name?
It is breadfish.de. I think that's a German site. Breadfish.co.uk will also work.
And what's on the site is just.
It
go check
shows a bunch of fish with bread wrapped around them, and a song is played on a loop.
it out.
That song, the breadfish song.
Oh, okay. Now Philip, on to you. What's your favorite, most random website?
I don't look at random YouTube or not YouTube, random websites on the internet.
That is a lie.
That's
There
such
has
a
to
lie.
be at least
Well,
one.
I do
At least
look at
one.
websites, but the websites usually have a purpose. Because otherwise I wouldn't go there,
But
honestly.
like, okay, so
You can say I live under a rock.
a website that not a lot of people go to in a monthly basis.
There's probably a couple, but I can honestly not bring out any at the top of my head because it hasn't been a while. I haven't been to anyone in a while.
Have you ever been to omglasergunspew.com?
Nope.
Oh, you gotta check that out. You have a squirrel, and if you click the mouse, it shoots a laser gun.
OMG
Just shout out,
lasers.
It goes pew pew.
OMG lasers pew pew.
All right,
omglasergunspew.com.
Philip. Okay, probably the most random website I could probably think of you is probably Cold Steel.
Wait, what?
Cold Steel.
Cold Steel, like the company?
Yeah.
Why?
Who in a daily life do you know who goes on Cold Steel?
They make swords.
I know, but on an average basis, who goes on Cold Steel that you know?
Well, obviously, you went to the website at least once.
I didn't go to the website. He just told me about it.
Me?
Yeah, you?
And so you looked up, do people go to Cold Steel?
No, I didn't look that up, but that's just a random website that I know people don't look up on a monthly basis,
Michael?
I assume.
Welcome to the internet. First of all, they're a manufacturing website. People go there if they want to buy stuff. People don't go there for fun. And so your argument is kind of invalid.
Well, for Facebook, people don't go there for fun. People go there to check up on people's lives.
Well, at Cold Steel, people go there to get broadswords, cheap,
Yeah.
and warrior katanas. I personally am going to make a purchase there soon because I'm going to go to some woody place and I need a machete.
For me, I'm gonna say the most random website ever is World of Text. I got it off of Vsauce video. And World of Text is pretty fun. And everybody just texts on the world. You just type on the world and you can go wherever you want. I try to go up to like Y1000 and stuff. It takes about like 40-50 minutes to get up there. But it's like coordinates on the graph, and you can go way out there and type whatever you want and see if anybody will find it. And I made a story about a guy named Steve, and he's fighting off the zombies, and it goes way up there.
Oh, I have another one for really random sites. Any person's blog site at any given moment.
Just a random blog site.
Yes.
Would you count like a Twitter? Would you count that as a blog site?
A Twitter account is not a blog.
Thank you, Jacob. I was actually going to pause dramatically because Michael's question was so
What
stupid.
would you count Twitter then? Just like
Twitter is Twitter. There's no definition. How can you
It's
do
a
anything with?
social site.
It's just
How can you do
what's a
anything with
blogging site?
140 characters or
blog
less?
has like articles that people write, and on Twitter you have 140 characters, right?
Yep.
140. I have a Twitter account, but I don't use it that much anymore.
Barack Obama has a Twitter account. He calls it White House, but it's really Barack Obama. Yeah, blogging is the term for basically trying to get stuff. Well, not the term, but it's basically where people try to get stuff off their chest, or they just are bored, so they. Are you okay, Jacob?
All right, continue, Philip.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Continue, Philip.
No, thank you.
All right, we're gonna continue on to the next thing. Wolverine and the Pacific Rim. Jacob, take it away.
Okay, so I recently saw the Wolverine and Pacific Rim in theaters, and the Wolverine, there was not really anything memorable about it, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie, but there wasn't really anything that shot out at me.
What's the main premise of
So
it? Is it just
the
a
premise of the
origin?
movie is the Wolverine starts to lose his healing ability.
Lame.
So then he has to deal with that. And it's set mostly in Japan.
So
And the Silver Samurai and Viper are two of the main villains. They're not that great. The Silver Samurai is totally different from the comics. You know, some people don't think that characters have to stay true to who they are in the comics, but I'm of the opinion is that if they're so different from their comic counterparts, like Silver Samurai and the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, then they shouldn't even be called that just because they're so different. That's my opinion. But anyways, Hugh Jackman had a pretty good performance. A lot of people praised him, said it's the best job he's ever done as a Wolverine. I thought he had a few good singers, but his performance wasn't enough to carry the movie for me. So I give it 2 out of 4 stars. Pacific Rim, on the other hand, was a really awesome movie. I greatly enjoyed it. I personally love movies where there's giant monsters. I've always liked them.
Nice.
So yeah, there's really good fight scenes, really good CGI, unlike Wolverine. At the beginning of the Wolverine, there's a really bad CGI bear at the beginning. Spoiler, the bear dies.
Okay. And spoiler alert, there is no Stanley, which makes
Oh
everybody
yeah.
cry.
Stan Lee was not able to have a cameo in the Wolverine, which is probably why it wasn't very good.
Yeah, man, I agree with that.
But anyways, back to Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim is about how a bunch of giant monsters called kaiju are crawling out from basically a portal to another world that's on the
Sounds
bottom
original.
of the Pacific Ocean, and the humans make a bunch of giant robot fighting suits called Jaegers.
Sounds like Japanese anime.
I heard,
Yeah, there were a lot of comparisons to like kaiju animations and stuff.
I was talking about the concept of giant robots. For some reason, Japanese animation directors love that. They eat it up like crazy.
Yeah, anyways, Pacific Rim, I really like. I personally would give it 4 stars, but I know the plot. I mean, if there is a plot in a movie and it's greatly enjoyable, I think that's fine. You don't need a super in-depth plot to have an enjoyable movie. So I give Pacific Rim 3.5 out of 4 stars.
That's why I think Rotten Tomatoes is full of it.
I personally like Rotten Tomatoes, but if you have a yes or no on do you like the movie, there's not a lot of
yeah.
Usually there's a lot of